Hey y'all. All right, so I guess you could keep me company for a little while I redo my nails. I think I'll do hot pink this time. They're nail wraps for those who don't know, and they are wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. They do not, you know, like I said before, nail polish never lasted with me. I don't care what I did, and I don't care what tricks of the trade they told. Do this, do that. Clean your nail beds with alcohol first. And I don't give a rat's behind what they said to do. Nothing worked. It would always last me, you know, like a day and a half if I'm lucky. So yeah, that gets old. And so I don't know where I was when nail wraps came out because I'm like a couple years late on this. But I'm tickled that they did. I'm so late to the party, but honey, at least I'm here. So I want to tell you while I'm preparing my nails, which takes the absolute longest time. Putting the wraps on is easy, but the preparation, oh Lord, help you. That's what takes the longest amount of time. It takes forever to prepare if you do them correctly. Another thing I want to tell you, if you do wraps or you're considering doing them, if it's a little bit of a chill in your house, they will not adhere properly. They will not adhere properly. So what I learned this trick from another young lady. She while she was preparing her space, which takes time, and preparing her nails and all that, she went ahead and put them under her thigh so they could heat up to her body temperature. And I did that last time. Worked beautifully because the ones prior that I had put on, they didn't stay on. And I was not happy because I never had a problem in the summer, but in the summer they were warm enough. So when I had so much problem with the other ones, I was like, you know what? Maybe they're not warm enough. Let me go ahead and try that trick that young lady said. And it worked great. You got to clean up your cuticles. You got to get rid of dead skin. It's just a long preparatory process, but it's so worth it. So anyway, something else I thought about today. I don't know why I did, but I did. I was engaged to this individual. Thank God I didn't follow through. Person he did follow through with, she eventually divorced him. Well, honey, I could have told you before you married him that he's not a good person. Okay? He's a snake. Like every other narc. A freaking snake. So anyway, we had gone on vacation. And he went to this girl's house who's supposedly a friend. Now, was she a friend? Who knows? Would I ever find out the truth? No. Okay? So it's embarrassing and awkward. We went to Arkansas where his parents lived. His dad is dead. No one will miss him. He was a woman beater. I'm just keeping it real. He'll rot in hell where he belongs. And we went to his so-called female friend's house. And I'm sitting on one couch. We're at her house. I'm sitting on one couch. He's sitting on another couch. And honey, the two of them are just a talking and laughing and sitting close to each other. And honey, I might as well have been a third wheel. I might as well have been a third wheel. And you know, don't you hate when you think of the best thing to say way after the fact? I freaking hate that. Okay? I hate that. But in retrospect, what I should have done was taken my engagement ring off, walked over to where they were sitting, handed it to him and said, you know what? You and her have a better relationship than you and I, because you just all up each other's world. So why didn't you ask her to marry you? That's what I should have done. And let me give you girls a heads up. If you're ever dating somebody who is in the military and they decide that they want to show their ass, especially in the Air Force. Because I thought about that today. I played that scenario in my head way after the fact, I might add. I played that scenario in my head. You know, I should have gave the ring back and said, why don't you ask her to marry? Because y'all just got so much going. You just click so well together. And then he could have easily decided, well, you know, since you want to cause a narcissistic injury, which is when you do something that hurts them to the core, hurts their ego, I'll leave you behind right here in Arkansas. Now, let me tell you why that doesn't work when the person is in the military. Okay? Especially in the Air Force. I can't speak for other branches, but if he's in the military and he decides to do something really heinous, like you could find your way home, bye, I'm leaving, and he wants to leave you stranded in another state, all you have to do is call his first sergeant and tell them what that person did. And they will get called on the carpet quick, because the military, Air Force in particular, they don't play that. They don't play that. Okay? Because I know one lady, she got played by her husband, and they had a kid. They only had one car, and he not only dumped her, but he took the only car they had. So if the baby gets sick or something, has to go to a doctor, or go to hospital, or hospital or whatever, she has no transportation. I said, I don't know if you're still involved with him or not, or if you're divorced or what. But honey, the military don't play that. All you have to do is call his first sergeant and report what he's doing. This ain't the civilian world where civilians get away with everything and we don't have any law enforcement anymore. In the military, they don't play. They're not going to go soft on crime. They're going to address that person. In some cases, give them what's called an Article 15. They may get court-martialed or whatever it is that they're doing wrong. They will be responsible for that, and they will be held to a higher standard in the military. Okay? So, girl, please. I said, you better contact his first sergeant and let him know what's going on, because the military don't play that. So if you're involved with somebody who's in the military and they think they're going to get away with something, they're going to take advantage of the fact that you not knowing that the military don't play. They're going to take full advantage of that and, decide that they're going to do whatever the heck they want to do the way they want to do it. Oh, yeah? Knowledge is power. So if you want to play, we could play. Let's do checkmate. Your move. Okay? I think if somebody is going to do evil to somebody else on purpose, you should be nailed for that everywhere you turn. You should be penalized for that, because you just acting stupid and there's absolutely no reason for that. Not only that, but I've said this time and time and time again, you know who you are and you know how you are. You know that you can't be faithful. You know that you got hyperactive dick syndrome, where you just got to stick it in everything not bolted to the ground, or you're a woman and you can't keep your legs shut. Don't be getting in no serious relationship with no damn body and having kids with them, because you know better. You know and you know you can't be trusted. So you try to perpetrate this front. Oh, that's what everybody does. They get married and have kids. Yeah, but people who are serious about it, they're not screwing around with other people. Okay? They're faithful because they love that person. And I want a life with you, and I want to have kids with you, and I want us to be together forever and forever. That's how it's supposed to go down. So if you know ahead of time that you are a dog, or you got a problem with your knees don't stay shut as a woman, then you got no business getting involved with people in a serious relationship, because you know better. You know better. So yeah, if he would have, I'm gonna tell you how it all ended. Whenever I finally got rid of this fool and I called the wedding off and everything else, and it's gonna sound weird, so put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. Get ready. Get ready. So I uh I don't know. I was due to take pictures in my gown and all this other, and we were no longer together for obvious reasons. He's not a good person. Plus I was in denial about how he can't keep his hands to himself. He likes to put his hands on women. He wants to make you comply. You need a child, not a partner, okay? And you're not going to be a good parent because you're abusive. So move right along. My friend was against this, but I did it anyway. I took pictures in my gown without the groom because I don't need you to take good pictures. If I want to take pictures, I will take them without you. And it was a weird way of me having closure. And I know that sounds like so weird, but I looked good in my gown and I don't need to add a demon to the picture. So I was good. My girlfriend said, I don't think it's a good idea. I said, I'm doing it for closure. I don't need him to take good pictures. Shoot. I'm going to look good regardless. So I had not been to therapy at that point. So I had a lot of healing I needed to do. Or did I go to therapy and I needed to go back? I was having my PTSD was flaring up real bad after dealing with him. And I got to the point where God basically saved me from that relationship, because if he had not saved me, I was going to go to jail. Better yet, I would have went to prison, because I thought to myself, you know what? People have a tendency to think I'm bigger and stronger than you and I'm going to get away with it. And all it takes is the element of surprise. And then you realize you played with the wrong person. But I don't need to go to prison behind him or anybody else. So anyway, I took the pictures. My girlfriend was against it, like I said. I'm looking for my hot pink. I don't know where it went. I know what that is, but that ain't the hot pink. There it is. Yay. So I went ahead and took the pictures and everything, and cried a lot and bottomed out, went into this real dark depression, cried myself to sleep every night and everything. And it was just a mess. It was just a total mess. But, sometimes it feels like God is abandoning you. So you feel absolutely horrific. But let me explain you something. What you don't know is, and what I didn't know at the time was, it feels like God abandoned you, but he actually saved you. Let me let that sink in. It feels like God abandoned you, but he actually saved you. All right? You feel alone, you feel abandoned, but you're not. It's going to be okay. Ow, that didn't feel great. You got to be careful with these cuticle cutters, because, honey, sometimes they do too good of a job, and that doesn't feel good. That hurts. So, took the pictures and everything. Bottomed out. Cried myself to sleep a lot. But I eventually, through time, got better, and I entered a support group through my church at the time, which is called Search for Significance. And it basically reminds you that you are God's child, and God don't make garbage. So you're going through something right now. You feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. It just feels that way. That's a false narrative. You know what I mean? You're not alone. God's with you. It doesn't feel like it, but God is with you. Trust. And so fast forward, I'm still healing and that kind of thing. And so my friend said, he had left me with no place to live. What a charmer, you little bastard. Because we were supposed to get married, and my roommates at the time were moving on with their lives because I was supposed to be getting married and they were going to go off and do their thing. So I had no place. I wasn't going to be able to afford that place by myself. And so I was a gypsy for a little bit. I lived at multiple people's houses. Somebody told me, why don't you advertise at your church? And I eventually, how the hell did I find a place? I lived at different people's houses until I found a steady situation. And he didn't even bother telling anybody at the hospital where we worked. He didn't bother telling them that the wedding was off. And I wasn't going to drive long distance to tell them because he's stupid. So I put a note on the church door if people were to show up. I put a note on the door. I said, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but the wedding has been canceled. Because they were going to drive long distance. It was only 15 minutes away, but still. Little bastard wasn't going to tell them. So tell them the truth. Tell them that you're abusive to women. Tell them that you can't keep your hands off women, and you've got hyperactive dick syndrome, and you don't know what faithful is, regardless of going to church and being so godly that you're a piece of garbage. Tell them the truth. Anyway, so my friend, I was living at these people's house, kind of like gypsy style, living at different people's houses. And my girlfriend, I was living with her and her husband. And, oh my God. My girlfriend said, we need to talk to you. Meaning her and her husband needed to have a chit chat with me. And I was like, okay, what's up? Well, you know that we're going on vacation. And we want to make sure you're safe when we're gone. Okay, yeah. We noticed that his vehicle has been hanging around our house almost daily. What? You sure that's his vehicle? She said, oh yeah, we know his vehicle. It was a Toyota Camry. It was green. It was like a metallic green. I was living in Knob Noster at the time. His first name is Bertram. Anyway, he was easy to find after everything was said and done. I told his new wife how horrible he was, and they eventually got a divorce. Wasn't because of me, believe me. It was because he's a horrible person, and I'm sure he's putting his hands on her too. Oh, baby, he got a history of doing that. Don't you think he don't? And he ain't worth me going to prison for. So I'm either going to stay with him and end up in prison because I'm going to take him out, and I don't mean for ice cream and with a cherry on top and extra nuts. I'm going to take his ass out of here, and I'm going to end up in Potosi prison. So it's best that I leave his ass alone. But I wanted to warn her, and they eventually got a divorce. Anyway, moving right along. Like I said, it wasn't me. He's a horrible person all the way around the board. And I'm sure she knew that before I even told her. So anyway, they said, we need to talk to you. I said, okay. We noticed his car hanging around. I said, what do you mean, hanging around where? Oh, around, see that street over there? Yeah. That's where he usually parks, and he's watching. You sure that's his car? Yes, that's his car. He's the only person who has a Toyota Camry that has metallic green. You're right. Okay. So her husband said, he was active duty military too, and he said, you need to contact his first sergeant and let him know what's going on. And I said, I'm not trying to get him involved. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in a situation like that, the last thing you want is an explosion or an implode. Like, it implodes from the inside out, like, You don't want to make it way bigger than it is, but sometimes you don't really have a choice because this person is unstable. This person is erratic and doing crazy shit. Had no respect for you when you were together, but doesn't want to let you go. Those are the type of people that hurt people and take them out, as in unalive them. Those are the people that snap up here. Okay. So he said, you need to tell us first, Sergeant. And I said, I really don't want to get him involved. He's like, look, they weren't giving me an option. Okay. They said either, he told me point blank, he said either you contact his first sergeant or I will. All right. So I went ahead and called his first sergeant, told him what was going on. And his first sergeant knew me and he liked me. Now I'm not active duty. I'm civilian, so like I really don't matter per se. But he was like, I've seen your work. I've seen you at the hospital. I like how you relate to people. I like how you relate with your patients. He said, you are beautiful. I'm not going to get emotional. I am not going to get emotional. He said, you're a beautiful person and you won't be single for very long. And I will address him. And what you're going with him, what's going on right now, that's not going to happen anymore. So don't you worry about it. I'm like, okay. He handled it. Because if you don't, like I said, if you don't want to do what you're supposed to do, you can go, you could go to military jail. That's not a problem. And your career will be on the line, or you could get a dishonorable discharge, or whatever the case may be. You can have all of that. So it's totally up to you. If you want to take your life and throw it square in the trash can, go for it. So he stopped. He sure did. People are something else. So they didn't want to go. They were going on vacation to Arizona, and they didn't want to go and worry about what's happening with me with crazy. I had mentioned a long time ago that I had confronted one of the chicks that he was banging while he's supposedly engaged. She was banging everybody. I mean, you don't have to take her out for chicken McNuggets, baby. You can have some. I confronted her and I said, what is up with you and him? This is before everything was done. She said, he told me that y'all were just friends. I said, no, baby, I got a ring on my finger. This is before I was still in denial. I was still in denial about the emotional abuse, the physical abuse. He was always snatching me up, like I said, grab me up by my shirt and shove it through. Look here, I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. It's a miracle from God that I did not take him out. It is a miracle from God. In fact, that testimony I was going to use when my church was having a ministry with the prison, which never panned out because people say they're going to do something and they're dedicated to it until they don't feel like doing it. So I just skipped out of the whole. But I was going to tell the prisoners, I was going to tell them I was this close to being where you are. Being where you are. I was really close. Because I was thinking, this fool's going to put his hand on me one time too many, grab me up one time too many, and I'm going to lose it. And I'm going to go to prison. Okay? So, God worked miracles with that because I was close. I was close. And you can't do nail wraps when you're in prison. They don't let you do that. At least I don't think they do. Who's going to support my nail wrap habit? No, seriously though, I was going to use that as my testimony. I'm no different than you. I was this close to getting locked up because he was going to do one stupid thing too many, and that was going to be the last straw. So, please get away from these demons. Please. They're not worth it. They're going to take your health, your psychological health, your physical health, your money, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your family. They're going to take everything from you. And before you know it, you are a shell of your former self. A shell. An empty shell. You don't want that. You don't want that. Okay? You don't want that. I am so passionate about getting through to women. I'm going to tell you this thing too before I get started. Put some music on and get these nails done. I got my UV lamp in here and everything. Anyway. Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. Anyways, what was I going to tell you? I'm really passionate about this because I want women to get a wake-up call. I was in a support group for battered women because, like I said, I had to deal with him and his violence, and it was going to lead to more violence, and I was going to go to prison. I'm trying to tell you something. And once I started my healing and recovery from this abuse, I went to the group that I attended. I would help the new girls that came in that weren't where I was yet. Okay. One girl that came in, she had scarring in her eyes, the conjunctiva, which is the white part of your eye. She had yellowish scarring from him choking the absolute hell out of her till she went unconscious. Then he would throw her in the bathtub and throw cold water on her to bring her back around. And he would say, "I'm the one that knocked you out, and I'm the one that brought you back. Remember that." He did it many times over, so it started to get scarring in her eyes. And I remember saying to her, I said, and he would yank her by her hair and everything. And I said, "Why are you putting up with that?" And she said, "Because I love him." I said, "While you're so busy loving him, who's loving you?" Which she didn't really have a response to that. So I want you to ask yourself the same question. If you are with a snake, ask yourself, when I'm so busy loving him or her, because women are brutal too. They're, what do you call them? They're what are those dogs called? Pit bull, which is a generic term. Anyway, while you're so busy loving this person, who's loving you? Who's loving you? Think about that. Okay? I am so passionate about this, and I'm so passionate about getting women out before it's too late, or before she does something horrific, before she ends up in prison, before, some states have passion laws where, you did this over a period of time and you were psychologically not all there and you just finally snapped one day, and I think it's called sudden passion. So some states recognize that, but not all. So be careful. Please get away from this person, because I don't care if you're the only, you've never even hurt a bug, and if you even stepped on an ant, you would cry. I really don't care. Anybody can be pushed to the final straw. They can be pushed, and then they lose their mind and do something that is 1000% not them. That's probably why that law was created. Because you don't have a history of going upside people's head or doing something horrible to them. You don't have a history of that, but you finally had enough. Anybody can be pushed to that page. Don't think you can't be. Don't you even think you can't be, because you can. And your life will be changed forever. So get away from these evil demons. And he was in church all the time too, because he's so freaking holy-fied. Oh my God. I love Jesus. Yeah. My God, the energy to be a fake ass person, my God, there's unlimited energy that they put towards that shit. Anyway, let's see, just like a handful that I could think of now who are narcissists, and all of them go to church because they're so pious on Sunday. I know I beat her ass last night or beat his ass last night, but I'm gonna pray about it. Pray that she don't get on my nerves no more. Phony, fake. My God, you're disgusting. Ugh. Can't stand fakes. Oh my God, I can't stand fakes. Anyway, you guys take care. Do not get out when it's too late, because you'll get arrested and you'll go to prison. Do they deserve it? Yes. Do you need to do that? No, because your life will be ruined. We don't care about them. If they die, that's good. They can't put their hands on nobody else no more. They can't cheat no more. They can't lie. They can't do nothing. But your life will be changed forever. And I care about you. I don't care about demons. I care about you. So don't wait until it's too late. Okay? Please don't. Take my story as an example of how close you can get to doing something that is, deserving. That person deserves it. But I don't need to be exchanged for a package of cigarettes in prison. They gonna like me. I'm 5'10", and mostly legs. They're gonna be like, "Oh baby, we got new meat. Yes, honey. Woo!" I don't want to be exchanged for cigarettes or snacks or whatever they would trade me for. And I'm going up and down the cell block. I'm a different, with a different person every other night. I can't talk today. I ain't trying to do all that. So, like I said, I don't care about the demon, but I do care about you. All right? Don't get out when it's too late. Don't get out now. Okay? Y'all take care. Much love. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. And I'm going to be honest with you, as always. My procedure it's a cystoscopy. It's Thursday. I'm worried. I'm nervous. I'm not worried about the results. I'm worried about the procedure. So, yeah. If y'all pray, say some prayers for me, because I'm worried. I don't want to go through with it. I really don't. I'm not going to cancel my appointment, so don't worry about that part. But I just don't want to do it. I don't. I'll let you know how it goes. All right? Next week, Thursday. Oh, Lord, please. Oh, Lord, please. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, y'all take care. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.